What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel with On 3. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to be talking through some of the basics of Nebraska's new offense. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people's show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a nearly daily basis. Nick Brake is doing the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing and commenting on videos. If you're subscribed and you're commenting, we're going to lend our ear your way, okay? So let's keep this thing rolling. Nebraska is in a make or break season. We can call it that. Scott Frost knows, hey, we gotta win some games this year, all right? Last year was a very exciting year to the degree of we had a lot of close games and we lost 8 games by a score. So that's not really that exciting, but you get what I'm saying. The entertainment value is there. You feel like your team is so close. We talked about it in Pulse of the Program. This team is so close in a number of sectors. And the offense is one area that I'm really excited to watch this year for Nebraska. New quarterback in Thompson, new offensive coordinator in Mark Whipple. So we're going to break down some of the key things that you can expect from this offense coming into 2022. And then we're also going to talk about how Scott Frost is reacting and how he's responding more or less to the change in the offense. So first and foremost, I want to make it very clear. This offense is going to be a pass-first offense. Mark Whipple wants to spread you out and attack. He wants to put you in a bind with what he calls schematically from a route concept standpoint. We're not going to get too far in the weeds with that, but he wants to put you in a bind in the secondary. He wants to throw the football. Did it pretty effectively at Pitt a year ago with Kenny Pickett throwing 42 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, had a really great year, was a Heisman finalist, first-round pick. And oh, by the way, one of his receivers, Jordan Addison, he also had a pretty good year winning the Biletnikoff Award. So it worked, okay? Let's just say that. He's not at Nebraska because he's out and about looking for a job. He's at Nebraska because he's able to put some good things on tape. And Scott Frost said, hey, how about you come help us out? And so the first thing I want to say, they're going to do a lot of levels concepts. And just to give you the most simplistic version of what that means, they're going to have a couple of receivers typically lined up together and running routes that give the quarterback an easy picture. So if you're running a dig route and let's say a post, you're able to look in the same direction and really read one defender. And so, like I said, to give you the most basic version of what this means, it's going to allow the quarterback to process the defense really quickly. And you saw that with Kenny Pickett a year ago, with how efficient he was, with how many touchdowns he threw, and how few interceptions. A lot of that's good decision making, but another piece of that is the scheme. Okay, so giving the quarterback a clear picture to process, and that should benefit Thompson. In addition to that, they're going to push the ball downfield. Like they're going to attack your secondary and make them run all day long. And the good news for Nebraska fans, you got a guy in Thompson who's got some experience throwing the ball downfield. Last year for Texas, averaged around 13 yards of completion. Folks, that's really good. And something you didn't really have that much last year with Adrian Martinez was a guy who was kind of inconsistent pushing the ball downfield. And if he did, you kind of cringed a little bit and you were on the edge of your seat. They gave you the whole seat, but you only needed the edge because you weren't sure if the ball was going to be thrown to your team or the other team. That's not going to be as much of a concern for the reasons we just mentioned. Easier picture for the quarterback. You can think much more quickly, or maybe you can even throw away thinking altogether and just be instinctual with what you see from game prep and looking at the film. Easy picture and a capable quarterback pushing the ball downfield in Thompson. That in itself is going to allow you to have a better jumping off point for your offense. Okay, you have a clear direction. The second thing I want to say, which is in tandem with this, you can expect this offense to run because of what the pass sets up. So when you're throwing the ball as much as Nebraska's going to be, you have the linebackers especially start to cheat. What does that mean? It means at the snap of the football, they might be a little more lazy on their run reads. They might just start dropping out right away. They might just get back to cover whatever zone they have because they're so worried about Thompson continuing to throw that dig route past their ear or taking a 3-step drop and going to that second level of the defense or whatever it is. So when you drop out, that makes for a much easier picture for the running back because you have less guys in the box. So all that's to say, one thing you can expect in addition to that, in terms of a specific play they're going to run, you're going to see a lot more draws. You're going to see a lot more of Thompson catching it, looking like he's going to pass. We'll give it. And when that linebacker's dropping out 6 yards already, when he's already into his back pedal or he's turning and running to get to his zone, that gives the running back a lot more space and allows him to get a full head of steam to when that linebacker does turn around and try to make a tackle, well, that running back's already picked up to full speed and he's already 4 yards downfield. So you make a tackle, cool, gain of 4. We'll take that all day. Now, like I said, they will pass to set up the run. Last year, Pitt was 104th in the country in terms of the percentage of the time they ran the football, like 46% of the time. So if you like the ball being in the air, this offense is for you. Mark Whipple's going to make sure he gets that done. So that's like the basics of what it will look like. But one thing we need to make sure we talk about is Scott Frost's role in all of this. Because if you remember correctly, Scott Frost, an offensive guy, a quarterback guy, played quarterback at Nebraska. The offense is like his baby. And there's a great article right now on our Nebraska On 3 site, so go check that out. But there's a great article where it talks about essentially Scott Frost having to hand the keys over to Mark Whipple and say, yeah, this is your offense now. It's like sending your kid to boarding school because you know that's what's best for him. Hey, I'm not going to see you. I'll write letters. I'll check in the individual drills. We'll still watch some tape together. I'll help. But you belong to that teacher now. Mark Whipple is the boarding school. Mark Whipple has now taken this offense as his own. And Scott Frost understands that's what needs to happen for him to ultimately get this program where he wants it to go. Because they were really close a lot of the time last year. And when you have two coaches with their hands on the offense, you have two sets of hands on the wheel. You have people, if you're not pulling in the same direction, you're fighting over that wheel and you're not able to steer the car effectively. And so credit to Scott Frost because coaches every program in the country, they preach sacrifice, they preach selfishness, they preach team before me. Scott Frost is exemplifying that. He's a guy who takes pride in his offense. He takes pride in his quarterbacks. And for him to hand over that responsibility to Mark Whipple and say, no, I trust you. This is yours now. I'm going to help from back here, from the back seat, but steering wheel is yours. That says a lot to me about the direction of this program and Scott Frost's posture towards what he knows needs to happen. So credit to Scott Frost for practicing what he preaches. I think that's a phenomenal sign for Cornhusker fans. So again, to recap, you can expect this to be an offense that throws the ball a fair amount. When they run the ball, it'll be because of what the pass has already set up. And credit to Scott Frost for putting his money where his mouth is and trusting Mark Whipple to run the show. That's it for us here on the Hard Count. We appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't already seen this over my shoulder, we got a nice new Nebraska helmet over the shoulder, and that's because y'all have gone crazy on Nebraska videos. So if you like this video, subscribe, comment below, tell me what you want to see. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.